saw. The president says he's withdrawing support for you, encouraging primary challengers. You were one of his biggest supporters. What do you think happened here?
Well, Dana, thank you for having me on, and that is true. I stood with President Trump when virtually no one else did. Campaigned all over the country, spent millions of my own dollars helping him get elected, and I think that's incredibly important. And I do support him and his administration, and I support them in delivering the campaign promises we made to the American people. His remarks, of course, have been hurtful. However, I have something in my heart that I think is incredibly important for our country, and that is to end the toxic fighting in politics. And this has been going on for years, and it has divided our country, split up friends and families, neighbors, and it's not solving our problems. The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor, and that is so extremely wrong. And those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
What do you think happened? What do you think is the reason for this?
Unfortunately, it has all come down to the Epstein files, and that is shocking. And, you know,
let me stop it right there. Right there. Let the plane land a little bit, folks. I knew she was going to go into the Epstein files. Everything is Epstein. It's a selling point. It's this and that. But folks, I got my good friend Sauce here on the panel here. I want to set this here right as we start the show. Is Marjorie Taylor Greene and her buddy Massie or Macy or however you say the same damn name, are they the ones to be blamed for the divide in the Maga Republican Party? You would never think the way this is coming out of Marjorie Taylor Greene now in 2025. You would never think of it, folks. Never. Okay? But, I mean, it's a little much. It really is, folks. Got a lot more to say here on the show. Stick around, guys. It's going to be a heated show. Be right back, guys.
Warning, this show contains strong language, brutal opinions, and zero apologies given. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Welcome to Savaged Unfiltered, where truth gets raw, opinions stay real, and nothing is off limits. This isn't your average podcast. It's the unfiltered conversation you've been craving. Politics, culture, chaos, we're diving into it all. No scripts, no safe spaces, just savage takes and real talk. You're in the right place. Strap in. It's time to get unfiltered. Savage.
Ooh, Marjorie, what is going on there, sweetheart? What is going on? Like the ghost from Scrooge there, Bill Murray. Niagara Falls, Marjorie Angel. Oh my God, she's going nuts. Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs, isn't she? Sauce, what is going on with this, man? What is going on with this? Welcome in, by the way, buddy.
Oh, thank you. I definitely, the funny part is I kind of feel bad. I don't know if you want to tell your people, like your listeners, what I'm doing and stuff. I think they should this would be a good lead-in of what I'm trying to do and post some of the videos I've been pushing for this week or these past couple days. So it's going to happen tomorrow. And Michael, I'm going to be excited because he's going to pull up something that I think is going to shock everyone. And what a great way to lead off with the show.
Yeah. We got some, not breaking news, but kind of breaking news. We got some things that Sauce here, our good friend Sauce, right? Get that out of my throat. Well, anyway, did that on purpose, guys. Check out this here, guys. This is actually okay, an article that I put out, or Sauce put out, excuse me, Sauce put out. We kind of, I'm super excited, guys, as you could tell. We put it into a graphic so you could see. This is actually from Sauce, okay, to the Honorable Mike Johnson, which is the Speaker of the House. Obviously, folks, if you see the gray bars, those have been censored for privacy, obviously. Okay. Addresses, you get the memo, right? Dated November 17th. Number of pages, including cover sheet, which were 4. Subject matter, proposal for censoring resolution against Representatives Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie. Now, Sauce, before I continue, I want you to kind of go into this part. What made you go to this level of a letter of this degree?
So, So number one is I want to make sure that the great part is, so on a cover letter, if you were to send information as fax, it's got the address and it's got the email address. So that's why that is redacted. That's why it's in the gray. But so I think this is long overdue. It's the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Massie voted to keep the government shut down, number one. Number two, it's the fact that if you've been watching my feed, and I've definitely getting some ground game, and I've been getting some a little bit more of a controversial limelight, is everything connects back to Michael Wolff. And if you look on the DOJ or the House Oversight Committee on the Democrats, on the Democrat website, and I have posted that on my feeds, you see how they are working together with Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene on impeaching President Trump, and that they're looking for the magic number of 216 to impeach him on this Jeffrey Epstein list. And another reason is, if I can slow them down by pushing this resolution upon Mike Johnson, which I found out, if you want to reach out to a person the quickest way and have it to their desk, fax it instead of emailing it, because if you email it, it goes straight to the garbage, or it goes to the spam box and they don't get it. Faxing it actually goes straight to their office and their secretaries actually handle it. So that's why it's so urgent and so needed. And that's why you have November 17th, because I will be faxing it tomorrow morning or tomorrow sometime. Because the thing is that when you accept $5 to $10 million to redact and to take some of the names off of the Jeffrey Epstein list and replace it with President Trump as many times, that's called tampering with evidence. And that is called, that is number one, tampering with evidence, tampering with congressional affairs. And to me, that's an impeachable offense, and it could be a removable offense from public office. But I think one way to start off is by censuring, which is disciplining both Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie on their actions. To say, hey, this is what you get for breaking the line and going against the Republican Party. And now that about how you're purposely causing discourse among the U.S. House of Representatives and even the Senate. Because I find it weird that all of a sudden Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene are going on The View, going on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, and then you have so many Democrats backing both of those two. To me, that should be like alert, like, well, something's up. And so that's why, if you follow my X account, I compare Thomas Massie to a Dick Cheney, who is a pathetic coward, and then I compare Marjorie Taylor Greene to a Liz Cheney, the wannabe rhinos. But hopefully, this is very important, because this is also developing, because people think that she's like the golden child and that she's seen the light. Well, what light has she seen? And why would Michael Wolff pay them $5 to $10 million to tamper with evidence? And this is also important to you as well. So, and I want to have the listeners do. The reason why this censure resolution has to be passed before Thanksgiving is because you have, their goal is, according to my sources and according to this letter, because I cited multiple citations, and a lot of people are wondering, can you speak English? Okay, well, number one, the business that Michael and I do is we speak with lawmakers, we talk with lawmakers. So you have to have a reference page. You have to have information backing up your claim on why somebody should be censured, not just censure this guy because I don't like him. That's why it's such a long letter, and that's why you see that cover letter, number one. Number two, why is Michael Wolff and Jeffrey Epstein, they had a plan to impeach President Trump back in 2017, and they set a plan, and even Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton they spoke with about the Russian dossier back in 2018. So all the information is adding up, and it's leading to how Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene were used to undermine the Trump
plants.
president.
I see them as plants. You know, like the whole hysteria behind it is just it's baffling to me. You know, like to once understand like these people, Sauce, were actually huge influencers of MAGA, and the way they're speaking out against it, it almost feels like they in their eyes, they've been betrayed by President Trump. In what degree? In what degree? Because he's actually carrying out law. They don't like that. They're showing their true colors. He's carrying out the Constitution. He is deploying troops to safeguard our cities. He is looking at the fraud, abuse, and waste in healthcare programs that they don't like. Why don't they like that? Are they on those programs, folks? No, they're not on the programs. Why they don't like it is because it is affecting their political angles, Sauce. That's how I see it.
Well, the other question you also have to look at is if the Epstein files were sealed for the past 4 years. So why are they focusing on it now? Why are they focusing it on why? I don't understand that. If they said that, well, we need to release the files. Well, the Democrats had the opportunity. They had that chance for the past 4 years. Why now? That's what I want to know. Why now? And why are you having Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene siding with the Democrats and an impeachment against President Trump?
You speak of the Epstein files. Did you see what she just posted here on X not too long ago, guys? We'll put up this exact post here. Check this out, guys. This is right there in plain English. It's right on her X feed. She put this out 5 hours ago, folks. 5 hours ago. Listen to what it says. Marjorie Taylor Greene, thank you for standing up against the intimidation, silencing, and abuse that Epstein survivors had endured for decades. When you speak the truth and refuse to bow to threats, you become a survivor by proxy, an ally who carries part of the fight with us. That encourage matters. You have our full support. This is Sauce. This goes down. And on the bottom, I love how they say it. Release the files. Release the files. And then it has Maria Farmer. It has Danielle Bensi. It has just a list of people, right? Jan Doe 1. I guess those are people that they don't want released to the general public, right? Oh, wow, Courtney Wild. Wow, there's a lot of them on there. So, we are not here to create more conflict or wars. Sauce, you know where it's coming, buddy. That part I just wrote, we are not here to create more conflict or wars. They're going to look at you as the influencer of that, Sauce. So what's your thoughts on that? Because I know it's going to be coming your way.
Oh, it already has come my way. And
if it's not already there, right?
Yeah, it's not already there. Well, I did respond to Marjorie Taylor Greene's response on that. And I said, you with little 2 brain cells, how much did Michael Wolff pay you to say that? I did respond to her that. And now, okay, another thing is, don't get me wrong on this. Okay, I like them as individuals, okay? And now, for example, if I want to make this very loud and clear as well. Okay. I like individuals. Like, for example, I know I can be a little bit hard. I know I can be a little bit kind of brass and not malice, but I can be a little bit, hard on things. But at the same time, I think I don't like their politics, number one. I do not like where they're at, what they're standing, and who they're supporting, and who are them backing. Now, when it comes, so I want to make that really very clear for the audience, and I have made that clear for my audience too. If they said, "Hey, let's go to a Georgia Bulldogs game," I would go down easily, but don't talk about politics. But their politics is, you can like a person, but you can't like their politics. And I think this is where I'm proud of my approach, because I don't like the person's politics, but I don't hate them as the person they are. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's a great person, she's a great human being, and she's a great individual. But politically, I have nothing politically. This is, I think, it's very important that she gets censured, and something has to happen where she can say, okay, I messed up, and I need something that's coming down my way. And so does Thomas Massie. But my question is, why would you vote no 13 different times to keep the government shut down? That should question as a Trump supporter, and question you as a Massie supporter and as a Marjorie Taylor Greene supporter. Wow, my husband, like those districts, man, my husband is working at this federal prison. He hasn't gotten paid for 45 days. Why is she voting no 13 different times? But at the same time, oh, well, you got to pass the Epstein files list. That doesn't make sense. And
They're not the party.
fact that
I put up this
no,
graphic for a reason, Sauce. They're not the party. They're not. They think they're the party. They think that they are the Maga base. They think this, Sauce. They do, but they're not the party. They're not. They don't represent America first. This is not America first, where you're digging. You're literally digging at the party that put you into power to begin with. Those are your true supporters, and you have the audacity to now go on social media. I see what Marjorie's doing. She's pulling the sympathy cords that Candace Owens, and we had fun with Candace a couple weeks ago. Check out that episode, because she's another lunatic out there in social media world. They're pulling the cords, Sauce. They want the sympathy. Now she's saying, I fear for my life.
oh my God.
Did you see that? The latest coming out of Marjorie? She fears for her life, and she's actually stating this on public record, that President Trump is orchestrating and inciting the violence towards her way from his own MAGA base. That's a crazy, crazy analogy. Crazy, man.
That's why I call them Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney, because well, okay, to me, I do have a question for you, Michael, okay? Because this is one of the things that I have, okay, because of my statement and because of my proposal with Mike Johnson. Okay, what is wrong with that? Like, do you see a problem with that? And why is it causing such a huge blowback on? It feels like I'm the Lone Ranger that came up with this idea, and it's like, okay, there's gonna be a lot to write. But what is wrong with this? I don't see a problem with censuring Marjorie Taylor Greene and Massie. And how is that being violent? That's what I want to know.
Sometimes you have to silence the people that are just, there's a point to that, Sauce, where you're making points and you're making valuable claims. And then there's a point where you go on social media because you have a powerful voice in politics, which Marjorie does. I mean, I'll give it to that. If you want a woman to stir the pot and get the crowd hyped up, Marjorie's your girl, okay? Because she's known for that, okay? She's a well-known representative out of the 14th district in Northwest Georgia, which resembles Rome, Georgia, okay? But I mean, just because you're known for all that, does that give you the right to go on major platforms like X and create delusional claims? Sauce, what is that creating? That's not creating difference. That's not creating change. That is inciting more than the narrative. That's inciting stuff that's on dangerous levels. I'm going to leave it there because I want to plug this here in a minute here, Sauce, but I want to get your views on that. Go ahead, bud.
Well, I think, well, I've seen what she's done and stuff, and saying, well, what you're doing is that you're painting a picture. You are following the Democrats' playbook of fear-mongering the public and making sure that people feel bad, and it's like it's the end of the world if something happens. I think it's called. I mean, I encourage people to do what I'm doing, is writing to Speaker Johnson and writing to your representative to propose a censure. That is how you do the right way. Not of, not showing up or not sending death threats or not doing any of that.
Yeah. And I noticed in social media, Sauce, I noticed this. It's catching attention from high level conservative personalities here. And where I'm going, folks, if you've been paying attention to big conservative media personality Laura Loomer, okay, Laura Loomer is putting this out. And the left is having fun with it. They're like, why is Laura so nervous? She's not nervous, folks. Well, she is nervous because our republic is slipping away from the grips of our vision here of what makes America. That's the nervous part. But she's pissed off, folks. Check out this video.
We are losing our country. Please start taking this issue seriously. Please. Because the American people deserve representation. And that's why I'm going to keep fighting for all of you. I'm never going to.
Yeah. She's pissed, Sauce. And she's going to continue that fight on her podcast, Loomer Unleashed, which I highly encourage you guys to check it out. And, they're calling her another spinner. They're calling her a verbiage of twisting the language. I mean, she's none of that. Why? Because people, they hate the truth? Is that the reason, Sauce?
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to understand. It's hard to comprehend, and it's hard to get the bigger picture of it. But I think this week is very important because it seems like that the Republican Party and the Democrat Party have learned nothing from 2024. And it seems like they have not learned anything about working together, talking about affordable care, like making sure everything is affordable, passing legislation that repeals and replaces Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. It seems like they're not doing any of that. And they're doing all they're doing and focusing on is trying to impeach President Trump over this Jeffrey Epstein file by the end of the year. How is that making anybody better? How's that?
I want to talk on that. I really do. I want to get a quick break, and we're going to discuss that, guys. But I want to direct your attention, guys. This is the reasons why I write these books. These are the reasons why I engage myself so strong into politics. I was never, to be honest with you folks, I was never a big fan of politics. Getting into the business of podcasting, talk radio, media, I just was never a big fan of it. It's not that I didn't understand it. It's just I felt at the time when I was first getting into it, there was no point, there was no logic. But that has completely turned around, folks. I mean, it has. It completely has turned around because the way I see our country is if you are not fighting for the core balance, the core principles of this nation, you're a damn fool. Because if you don't fight, who else will? If you haven't learned anything from the course of our nation's history of conflict, whether it was through the Revolutionary War, whether it was through the Civil War, whether it was through World War I, World War II, folks, do you understand the importance of why we were in those wars? Do you understand the core purpose of even the most important conflict of our nation's history, the Civil War, which damn near we're in a civil war right now, but more political than ever? Do you understand that, folks? Do you understand that if we did not have success within those wars, you, my friends, would be a lampshade or speaking German for that matter? Literally. Possibly Japanese, because English, my friend, would not be the dominant language of this nation. That's why I wrote these books, guys. The first moment I discovered the power of radio and the power of the voice was the very moment I got myself heavily involved in politics. You can check out these books, guys, through A Savage in America. Explains all the detail that Sas and I are talking about, as well as Project Earth, Humanity's Next Act. Scan this QR code, guys, and it's going to go right to my author's page on Amazon.com. So back to the show. Sas, I do want to talk about what you're discussing here, and it is catching a lot of heat. Okay, it's catching the heat. It's catching the grasp it of all. There are protesters now. This was yesterday. If you guys caught this here, there's protesters that are speaking out against President Trump, his administration, and everything that he stands for. Look at this. These are some of these people are senior citizens, for goodness sakes. Trump must go, guys. Check this out. Oh my goodness.
We are sending a message to the people across this country to come to D.C. and build the power of the people to drive out this regime.
So the audio is a little low. I do apologize. I took this clip from X, actually. What you're looking at, okay, as I kind of play commentary, and Saskia, you can chime in if you like. These people are right in Washington, D.C. There's the Capitol building right there, okay? Right in Washington, D.C. Like, what is your thoughts on this, Sas, when you see these people come out like this?
Well, who's paying them? That's number one. Who's paying them? Who is funding their signs? Because they clearly didn't make any of those signs.
No, I mean
the people with the
stuff you get from Office Max or something, and it's a fly by the hour graphic. I mean, these are professionally done. You're right, Sas. Who paid them, right?
Yeah, well, they are paid agitators, probably.
Hold on, let me stop you right there. They're all in unison. Look at them. They're all in unison. All the signs are identical. So it's not from the same people. They didn't call up Larry, and Larry didn't call up Jill and say, "Hey, is your sign the same?" No, it's all the same. It's all through an organization. Who is funding this madness? Who's funding it? That's what my answer is. Who's funding it? Do you have that answer? I sure as hell don't. We lost Sas, but he looks like he's back. Sas, yeah. Who's funding it?
Who's running? Probably George Soros, actually.
You think?
George and the House Democrats and the Act Blue. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a super far right organization that's running it. That's affiliated to Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie to push a divide and to push a certain narrative. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't put that would not be surprising if that happens, because they want division, they want discourse, and they don't want accountability, and that's the problem. And that's what I'm trying to push for, accountability, by pushing to have Mike Johnson censure Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Because my question is, okay, if I remember last time, okay, there was a vote to replace Speaker Johnson because he wasn't doing good enough. I remember that last time. You know who was that proposed by? Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is once this letter goes through, I will be posting and will be updating you guys on the whole letter, and you are more than welcome. I'm going to show the receipts instead of just saying, "Oh, well, I did write a letter, and somehow the letter just somehow disappeared," No, I'm gonna. One thing about me is I post receipts, and I post facts, and I want to make that very clear, and I. Not only that, but I want to make sure that this is what, if I'm seeing this, I want you to see this as well. It's called.
We were talking about that. I want to go into Marjorie here, guys. I'm going to leave this graphic up, but before I go into that, because I truly believe she is blue pilling. If not, she's already there. I was in a panel last night on TikTok.
I was in the same panel.
Yeah, and right shortly after Sas departed from the panel, there was an individual that brought up the entire set of emails that have been released by the Trump administration, some 20,000 plus. Okay, the press secretary went into that the other day. If you go on to the actual White House account on X, she actually went into that, that they are being transparent and they are releasing the files. They've released a lot of files, not just 4 emails or documents of what you are seeing. Because if you paid attention to some of the emails that are the right emails that are, documents that are been released and leaked, you notice how some of them are showing huge amounts of fabrication. And what I mean by that is, I kind of joke around that the left is taking a playbook from Candace Owens with her fabrication of text messages with Charlie Kirk and TPUSA. The templates, sus, they don't add up. And I was talking to my good friend Brandon Sale. So hat tip to Brandon. Guys, get your votes out. This just gentleman, young kid, 24 years old. He's actually in the beginning processes of actually running for president. And he believes that there is a loophole of how he can get in. Obviously, due to his age, he can't get in through the primaries. But hey, did that stop Kamala Harris? You damn right it didn't stop her. She found a loophole, and my friend Brandon found a loophole too. So you got to get your votes out for Brandon. He's running for president. He's got a tremendous voice. We exposed the liberal on TikTok the other night, and we basically went into the email, and we said, if this is coming from Google, right, Gmail, which I find hilarious, Sauce, because, like, first of all, Jeffrey Epstein, Mark Epstein, right, that was in there. If you're going to establish a business account, why are you going through fucking Google Gmail to do it? gvacation@gmail.com. I actually looked it up. It's really a non-existent email. I did my homework, Sauce. It doesn't exist. Okay. And I'm looking at the template. Okay. And I'm like, okay, if you go to Gmail, right? If you go to Gmail, I'm going to do a little experiment for you guys. Okay. As I'm talking, I'm going to pull up my Gmail account. I don't have anything to hide. I'll show it to you. Okay. If you go to Gmail, right, I'm going to pull up an email here and I'm going to state my case here. Okay. Where's it at here? Okay. Right. Anyone. Here we go. Okay. So as you pull it up, this is what the Gmail templates on your phone looks like. Okay. It always has the original message, right? The original email that is sent to you. And every message that comes afterwards would follow through. The original message would always be top to bottom. But that wasn't the case. It was vice versa. They showed whoever their digital team on the left that fabricated this nonsense of bullshit fucked up. Excuse my language, but they fucked up. They put an old timestamp in the middle and the new one towards the end. Sas, correct me if I'm wrong, but shouldn't the appropriate timeline, if it was synced in the software, be corrected on how I just showed that? I don't care if you say, well, it depends on how you open it, Savage. No, before you open a email, okay, before you open it, it's always synced into the Google software. That's how their IT tech of technicians design the damn thing. It doesn't change after or before you open the damn thing because it's always synced in the software. Why did it change? That's a good question. It changed because when they were creating the template, when they were doing the Photoshop imagery, when they took a snapshot off of their device and they copied it over the template, they forgot to rearrange the timestamps and they exposed the entire sloppiness of their design. And I caught him. We my buddy Brandon and I, we debunked it like in less than 5 minutes. And then you know what his rebuttal was, the radical left? You want to be known to the world, Savage and Brandon on TikTok, to debunk a major document on social media. How come Trump hasn't done that? You don't think Trump and his legal team already debunked the damn bullshit already? Come on, man. Play the cards together. You know what I mean, sons? It's just ridiculous, man. You know? What's your views on that, bud?
Well, so my thoughts on that is, I think
before we go to the Marjorie Taylor Greene blue pill, because she's a blue pilled bitch, if you ask me. But go ahead, buddy. She is. I'm sorry. Oh, we're having difficulties with Sauce. We'll bring them up one more time. Go ahead, Sauce.
Okay, can you hear? Okay,
we can hear you. Yeah.
I do not know what. I truly do not know what's going on.
The gremlins are affecting us, Sauce, but it's okay.
They are. Okay, with your emails, can I touch base on the emails and stuff? Okay, well, yeah. I'm sorry, but the email, like with that email, you can't make up emails. It's very easy to come up with a email URL and very easy to come up with a tracker. But at the same time, the timestamp is normally on the bottom right corner. The bottom right corner is where you'll find the timestamp, the date, the year, and where the IP address was sent. So the fact that anyone that thinks that, oh, well, here's an email and the timestamp is in the middle of the document and buried in with it, don't you find that question, like, don't you want to sit back and like, holy cow, like, I've sent out emails before, I received emails before. That's not the right format. It looks like somebody finessed with it or sent out, like, put it in Google Drive or Microsoft Drive and said, hey, come up with a phony email to somehow make an email that is going to be incorrect, but add timestamp in the middle, but making sure that it's still believable. It seems like they put that whole through ChatGPT and AI or Google Gemini.
Yeah, it's AI generated. It really is. It's AI generated. But I want to, enough of the emails because, it's on everybody's radar. It really is. I don't want to talk about the radar of the emails. I want to get into, because it's garbage, folks. Are we going to hear the end of the Epstein files? Are we going to hear the end of Jeffrey Epstein, the pervert that was known for his sexual innuendos of behavior? No, we're going to be hearing about Epstein for years and years to come. I mean, this is nothing new, folks. If you look at the history with Jeffrey Epstein, this goes back to 2005. Doesn't go back to 2010. Okay, and we brought that up last night on the panel. Right, Brandon and I brought that up with the 2005 and how there is so much connection with Edward Snowden and Jeffrey Epstein, which I'm sure Sas has some views on that because they do have some connection between the both of them. And they came out right around the same time when Jeffrey Epstein had committed to his behavior and Edward Snowden decided to betray the United States of America. But I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But I want to play this clip here with Marjorie Taylor Greene as we kind of close out here because Marjorie Taylor Greene was on Tucker Carlson. Okay. Did anybody catch that? I caught it. I thought it was a little interesting on how she was wording things, guys. Check this out.
The whole propaganda machine that has been spoon-fed to Christians, whether it's in the pews at church or Bible study or coming through the television or through their politicians' mouths, that we have to do everything for Israel. That's the only way we're going to go to heaven. America will be cursed if we don't. That whole lie is breaking apart. And thank God it is, because I, as a Christian, you as a Christian, we know there's only one way, and it's through Jesus Christ. He is our Savior.
Oh, stop it, Marjorie. No one's buying your BS. No one's buying it.
That is a pet peeve of mine. That's what I don't like what she does, is that she puts in like scriptures and she twists the Bible out. And she does that to make it feed into say, this is what I want. This is how I can manipulate and brainwash more Christians to feel bad and get more money out of them. Stop doing that. Okay, is it bad that, is it good that we support Israel? Yes, because Israel's our biggest ally, okay? And not only that, but then Israel's our biggest ally, number one. Number two, Israel was there for our, during our ups and downs. They were there, and we've always had their back. So why are we suddenly backstabbing Israel? For what? So I don't understand that. And this,
I don't understand it either. I like to play a little bit more of this nonsense because she goes into more typical political hysteria, guys. Check this out.
He died on a cross for us. He rose from the dead in 3 days. He is the one and only living Son of God, and he is seated at the right hand of the Father. And he's going to come again one day to judge the living and the dead. And that is the way you go to heaven. And that is the truth. And that is the light. And that is the only way that we should think and believe. And it doesn't come to bowing down to Israel, the government of Israel, or the military of Israel, or any politician. And the shaming that we have received and the shaming that carries on is actually what is destroying them, completely destroying them. It's destroying not only them, it's destroying the social media influencers that are taking money.
The paid social media influencers. They're paid. The paid trolls on Maga. They're destroying our country. No, you Nimrod. What's destroying our country is when you spit out stupid rhetoric like this about Israel. What is wrong for supporting a country that has had our backs for numerous of years? What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? We're not allowed to express ourselves, but things like that, that's wrong. That's wrong to express ourselves. But when you put out videos like this with people, idiotic influencers doing shit like this, this is just wonderful. What? That's okay. That's okay on social media. When you have bubble asses jiggling it on some type of stupid woman. By the way, that was an AI generated image of a enlarged Beyonce with Lizzo. Right? The Lizzo was on the bottom if you caught that. That's okay on social media. But God forbid we can't, Marjorie, we can support a country that supports our Judeo-Christian values. Oh my God, Marjorie, I said it. I know you're going to melt after that statement I just said.
Because
that's wrong, Sas.
She'll support Ukraine over any day. And if you go to her office, she has a Ukrainian flag. That's the part I don't understand. You know, I don't understand. So we can't support Israel, but God forbid we have to support Ukraine. And Ukraine, I don't know if you heard what's going on in Ukraine, but apparently Zelensky has got busted for fraud of money laundering millions of dollars. And apparently he got busted for it, and that's like going around the news. So I don't understand that double talk. So we can't support Israel, but we can support Ukraine, and which is a banana republic. It just shows you where we're at. It just shows you the level of hypocrisy that is coming out.
It shows how the radical left has broken this nation. Look at this. This is from JoJo. Does anybody know who JoJo is on X? Look what she writes here. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Fuck you to anyone who voted for this fucking monster. Fuck you. And to my family who voted for this, fuck you too. Don't ever speak to me again. This is TDS. Folks, it's beyond TDS, Sas. This is a mental illness in this nation where you go to rhetoric. JoJo, get yourself some help, sweetie. Go see a counselor, please.
No, there's no help. There's a mental asylum for a reason.
Go see a counselor. Sas and I are very concerned for your well-being, JoJo.
I'm not.
You're not concerned for her when she puts out garbage like this?
She belongs in a mental ward. Anyone that thinks that way belongs in a mental ward. In a psychiatric unit with padded walls and padded doors. Because that's just nuts, actually.
It is. It is nuts. And look, Sas, it comes in right one after the other. The so-called conservative woman, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she puts this out on her social media, okay, where she literally, I think she retweeted it or something. Look at this here, guys, right? From the Liberty Score, right, Conservative Review. A Liberty Score gives a 100% to Marjorie Taylor Greene since being in office in 2024, right? A rhino, right? Okay. And then Senator Lindsey Graham, right? A big old F, 43%. Maga. You see where I went there, right? Right, Sauce? I mean, she's She's crazy, man. She's nuts.
delusional. She's out of touch with reality. She's delusional, and she is. I don't know what's gone wrong with her. I don't know if she's down in the polls, but I think what she did is that political, like she tarnished her political career. And hopefully, again, I am very adamant about pushing this resolution of censure. I'm very adamant, and I intend to pass this, and I will keep you guys posted and updated. And it's a very troubling time. And I think, when Michael, when I tell people you can make change, this is how you do it. I like to say, I used to do things in the quiet, as you could probably tell. I used to do things, and I'll tell you about it. But I think, what do you think about my approach of posting everything, posting my receipts? Are you a fan of that or no? Because a lot of people say,
if you're coming out with claims, yeah, you need the receipts, you need the proof. I mean, anybody can make assumptions, anybody can make allegations with somebody, but I mean, if you have the solid proof and the solid receipts and the solid evidence, your claims are as strong as the message coming out of your voice. I'm in support of that. I really am. But what I'm not in support of is garbage like this, where they put this out on social media. Look at this, guys. This is the garbage I'm talking about. Look right here. Basically, AIPAC, right? Donald Trump, right? With who put this garbage out? It's through Dr. Simon Goddick. Right. This picture is all you need to understand the witch hunt against Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie. Right. They're looking at the funding. That's where they're getting at. Right. With Donald Trump, the president of the United States, receiving over $230 million. JD Vance. Oh, they use the stupid AI image of JD Vance. Look, they have his face all blown up, 167,000. And then on the bottom, they show Thomas Massie received 0 from AIPAC, and Marjorie Taylor Greene received 0 from. Actually, I think it's the other way around.
Should that question you? I question that because AIPAC, the whole thing's a joke. It's
the whole thing is a joke. Yeah. It really is. But what caught me here, Sauce, is where I want to talk about this here as we kind of close up. Did you see the latest coming out of Alex Jones? Did you hear about that?
One with Mexico?
No, Alex is talking about Trump's, and this is what he labels it here. Okay. Trump's, let me download it real quick, guys. Hang on. There we go. I had to download it real quick. So let me put it in here. This is what Alex Jones is saying. Trump's threat to primary Marjorie Taylor Greene is very destructive to the prospects of Maga in the future. And this is his warning to President Trump and his analysis. Listen to this, guys. It's going to blow your mind. This is another supposed conservative stating stuff on how he feels that it's an immediate threat. Check this out. You have to listen to this, guys. I'm not making this shit up.
The situation between President Trump and MTG is very, very dangerous. It's not just isolated to Trump being mad at her for her disagreeing with him on some issues. It goes back to Elon Musk being driven out of the administration and Doge getting partially derailed. All the polls, all the numbers showed that killed that massive wave coming in. Trump had the highest approval rating he's ever had. People loved it. Now he's figured out that was wrong. He's bringing Musk back and has given him the head of NASA and the rest of it. So we need Musk completely back. We have to have a big tent in our populist, conservative, nationalist, common sense coalition. We don't need to be at war with Thomas Massie or MTG or any of these people.
We're not at war, Senator Alex.
Rand Paul. Yes, they vote their conscience like Ron Paul did. Ron Paul really built, along with myself and many others, the modern launch pad that Trump came in on. I agree with 95% of what Trump does. But when I criticize him...
Hold on. Let me put it on pause real quick because we're going to close it out here shortly here. I don't believe we're at war, Sauce, with Marjorie Taylor Greene or Massie. We're trying to inform them that the war that they feel that is against them is really not there. They're creating the war. They're creating the divide. They're creating the deflection. They're creating all that garbage for what? For what, though? Like, what are they creating it for, Sauce?
Well, someone's got to get money. Someone's got to buy a new house in Rome, Georgia. Someone's got to get a luxury office in Kentucky, I guess. You know, it's all a money thing. You know, at the same time, like they don't. It's sad that we're in this situation when there's bigger issues at hand, like talking about affordability. Yeah, so I don't understand this. So you have the Democrats, which are straight communists, but you also have the Republicans. We have a perfect opportunity to make like affordability, to make things cheaper, to like get rid of and repeal the Obamacare and Affordable Care Act. You have a golden opportunity, and what are you using this golden opportunity for? Well, you have Marjorie Taylor Greene and Massie ruining the opportunity by putting us this Epstein charade and derailing what Mike Johnson wants to do, which is affordability, and making sure that young people that are like trying to buy a home can buy it without being in debt and without being bogged down. And also this affordability, you then have so that things are cheaper. What Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene are going counterintuitive because they know that, you know, the Republicans stand for affordability. They know that that is a top priority, but they don't like that. They want to. They're attention seekers. It seems like that there's clearly something wrong, and I can see why Marjorie Taylor Greene's husband divorced her now, just like what's going on in the public eye. And I think this is why she needs to be censored.
I mean, she cheated on him. That's been made out in public record. She cheated on him.
Surprised that he's on the list. No.
But I mean, speaking of that, doesn't anyone find it strange how Representative Massie and Representative Greene both ran to the liberal media recently, okay, to attack Trump and call him a pedophile protector? They ran right to liberal media. They didn't go to their MAGA base. They didn't go to their conservative base. They went right to liberal media. And it's obvious, folks, that they are working with the Democrats to undermine MAGA, let alone undermine this administration ahead of the midterms. So the Dems can take the House to impeach Trump. But wasn't that the golden plan all along with Marjorie Taylor Greene? Who's to tell? Who's to know that? To us, we always seen the top ally of Trump being Marjorie Taylor Greene. People like Tucker Carlson, people like somewhat of Alex Jones. But it's quite interesting that they are flipping the script.
Yep.
Why?
It's a dangerous time. And I just don't, and this is why I think if Speaker Johnson censures Marjorie Taylor Greene and censures Thomas Massie from Congress, then they can get to work.
What are they actually helping, though, Sauce? What is Massie and MTG actually helping to help the Republicans win the midterms? They're not doing anything. By doing this charade, like you said, this form of rhetoric, it's not helping the MAGA base. It's
helping the Democrats. It's helping the Democrats, communists, helping the communists because you have.
It's helping their senses out, Sauce. It's boosting the senses like no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine the Democrats right now at HQ looking at this, right? Just laughing with, like, hysterically laughing. Like, if they keep it up, we don't really have to campaign that much for the midterms. I mean, seriously, they can pull a Joe Biden. They can just they could just sit in the basement there and let the damn MAGA base tear each other to shreds of what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing. I mean, it's the truth, right?
Yep.
I mean, but they're, like you said, Sauce, and I'm going to make it short and I'm going to land my plane. They're absolutely doing nothing. They're attacking Trump 24 hours a day. Now, Thomas Massie believes that his Get Trump stunt, which is going to be next week, will be remembered in history more than the Trump presidency. And he stated this, and I quote, "I would remind my Republican colleagues who are deciding how to vote Donald Trump protect you in red districts right now by giving you an endorsement. But by 2030, he's not going to be the president, and you will have voted to protect pedophiles if you don't vote to release the files. The record of this vote will last longer than Trump's presidency. I hate to tell you, Representative Massie, I hope you're listening to this broadcast on X. I really hope you're listening, okay? Get that out of your thick skull about damn Epstein files. The press secretary has already acknowledged through the discretion of the President of the United States and through the Department of Justice within the leadership of Kash Patel that we've been more transparent in this administration than any other administration before Trump. We have released tens of thousands of emails, documents, and special sensitive data and information to the general public. Okay? What more do you want from this administration that has been more transparent than any other administration to begin with? What more do they want, Sauce?
I don't know. I don't know what Thomas. Well, Thomas Massie's never been a Trumper. He's never been a Trumper. He's never really been a true conservative. He's never really supported America first. He's never really done that. And I think that is plaguing, and that is it's like, for example, I use this analogy. If you get one rotten apple, which is Thomas Massie is considered a rotten apple, he ruins a batch. And he is by Thomas Massie pulling this charade over the Epstein files, and by him and Marjorie Taylor Greene, they are handing the Communist Party of America, aka the Democrats, a golden platter to not just win the Senate, but win by the House by at least 30 to 45 seats in the House and overwhelmingly sweep. And that's a very dangerous thing. And I think it's just very pathetic. It's very sad to see. It is just, and that's why I think those two need to be censured and need to be censured from Congress, because I don't know what more that we've given them ultimatums and they have refused to listen to their base, to the donors. So now they're going to the people on the news to gain as much traction as they can. They're going to George Soros. They're going to Michael Wolff as an offset compensation, because they know that their careers are done. And that's why.
Here's a statement as we close out, guys. Do you truly believe that MAGA is dead? I'm going to leave that to Sauce. Sauce, do you believe the movement is dead?
Oh, man, that's hard. I think I'm going to go touch base with this. I think what is going on is there's a major divide and major division. I'm thinking that I think we can course correct ourselves. It's not too late, because we can course correct ourselves before midterms. If Speaker Johnson censures Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and he brings the Republican caucus together and say, we are gonna inform the younger generation, the younger population, the young voters, to say, hey, this is how we're making things affordable. This is what we are doing. It takes time. Because I've noticed this. President Trump has done a lot of great things for the economy. People are so impatient, and that because he's got 34% approval rating, people are so impatient that they can't wait. And I think that's the problem. The messaging, and this is another critique of the Trump administration, is the messaging. I think Barron Trump did a great job during 2024 cycle of helping his dad, going on TikTok and going on podcasts. And I think he should start doing that again. And I'm thinking that Turning Point USA needs to step in instead of just doing, let's talk on campuses. I mean, that's good as well, but they also need to do invite President Trump on more and invite and partner up and be like, hey, this is how, you know, kind of do a cartoon thing, like do 10 seconds or less. And I'm thinking that Turning Point USA has also drifted away from their mission, what Charlie Kirk wanted. And I think that is very sad. And I'm noticing how more and more younger people, and I know this, people are going to be upset about this.
Yeah.
They're going to be upset about this because
If anything, with the legacy with TPUSA, Mrs. Kirk, Erica, I mean, if you want the legacy to stay alive under Charlie, you have to get rid of the evil sponsors and donors that are trying to pull you to that avenue. What Sas just said.
Yeah.
You have to get. I mean, it's not at this point. You have to understand something, Erica. Is it about money or is it about the legacy? Because I believe that Charlie would have wanted to go on through legacy, not through fame, not through not through clicks, not through bait, none of that garbage. Because that's not what TPUSA was designed for. And I agree with that. And I'm going to leave it like this as we close up. Okay, this is gonna sound interesting, guys. This is going to backfire so bad, literally so bad on Democrats, and here's why. Okay, here's why. Okay, you're going to want to go to the store and get your popcorn on this, guys. Now, the whole Epstein hoax, we're starting to see, and I hope you're seeing this, is a planned operation by the swamp to take valuable time from the Trump administration delivering his campaign promises. We all see that, or at least I hope you see that. Now, if Trump was guilty of anything,
which he's not,
anything to swamp, right, Sas? Right?
Yeah.
If he was guilty of anything, the swamp would have already used it against him. Now, Savage, you're probably saying, well, they have used stuff against him. No, that's a difference. By putting something hard on somebody and literally going to court levels of it, that's using something against somebody. But all they're doing right now is they're making stupid social media assumptions that have no claim whatsoever or proof, which is receipts in the media world. That's all they're doing. They're using it for clickbait. That's all. Now, the whole Epstein debacle should have been dealt with and over with by now. Who benefits from the lack of information and confirmation of guilt in this prolonged politicized issue is not who you think it is. It's we, the people. That is what the suffering will come down to ultimately, Sas, is us that has to put up with this garbage, put up with this bullshit, put up with this stupid witch hunt, adding more tax-paying money to an investigation that's been going on since 2010, but going back to 2005. Do you as a taxpayer want to still pay the garbage? Come on. Everybody that says that this is over with, this investigation is not over with. Kash Patel clearly said that like about a week ago. And also prior to that, Deputy Chief Dan Bongino has mentioned that countless of times. This is an open investigation. We don't know the outcome of it. They're still investigating, Sas. It's not a closed case. You know, it's only going to backfire and hurt the Democrats. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish, but it's not that. This is what you call a Democrat bait and switch. They've always accused everyone of what they've done much worse, and they portrayed it less than it really is.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it is.
Here's my question. Why isn't anyone going after Joe Biden and Obama and as well as Bill Clinton? You look at those, Bill Clinton, the ultimate pedo, like he couldn't keep it in his pants in the Oval Office with Monica Lewinsky. Why isn't anyone going after him? Like, he's like, it's like he's a sacred cow. Like, oh, don't you dare touch him. Don't you dare talk about him. You know, or like Hillary Clinton, how she orchestrated the whole like flight log, and she was I'm thinking that she had a lot to do with trying to rally up people. And I personally think that she probably had. I'm pretty sure she took care of Jeffrey Epstein. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not put a surprise in it. But why aren't they focusing on that? But they're so bent on. And the thing is, President Trump kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago, out of all of his states. He even stated that he didn't want nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. And the whole emails, of course, so a lot of people realize, okay, why is he in so many emails? Well, when you talk about someone, when you go through an email scanner, you say, okay, how many times is my name mentioned in an email from this time to this time to this person? Like, for example, let me break it down even more. If I send an email to my my girlfriend, hypothetical, and she's like, well, has he? And then we broke up, and then somehow like she does something, and does something weird, and then she goes through this program, and this program's like she puts in my ULR, she puts in the Gmail account and stuff. She puts in like, hey, how many times is Sansa mentioned from this time to this time, from 2005 to 2020 or 2023, and it shows up a whole bunch of times. Well, of course, President Trump is going to be mentioned so many times in those emails, in different kind of threads and different emails, because when you're trying to kick somebody out of your Mar-a-Lago, out of Trump Tower, and you're trying to kick somebody out, of course, you're going to be mentioned a lot. And of course, there's going to be a lot of communication between staffers, between other people. Of course, you're going to have that. So I don't understand how people can't understand that. It's like it just shows you the gross incompetence that is going on the media and the lack of reporting. Oh, and then this morning I read on the news that he has been sleeping with staffers. That is outlandish narrative.
Yeah, it is. It is. And real quick, guys, I want to bring this to your attention because I'm kind of looking at some things here through X, and I find this kind of interesting, Sauce, where he basically puts this in here. Okay, and this is coming from Thomas Massie himself.
Oh,
You're really going to want to check this out. Look at this. Look at this document here, guys. Here, we'll put it up right there. It is. The Honorable Thomas Massie, the Honorable Barry Loudermilk, re 28 CFR Part 27 protective closure by an FBI employee to the United States Congress related to a serious misconduct and gross misconduct by the FBI. Put this out. What are you trying to get at, Thomas? This is in reference to the J6 pipe bomber investigation. Is that what you're saying? This was put out actually on November 12th, so 4 or 5 days ago. He says this: I received this troubling letter today from the attorney representing the most recent FBI whistleblower regarding the J6 pipe bomb investigation. Just reminder to FBI or at FBI Director Cash, in case this letter is warranted, federal law prevents retaliation against whistleblowers.
Jackass.
Oh my God. It's the delusion, Sash, of what they are trying to accomplish. It's I mean, from one thing to the next. I mean, there's more here. We'll put like 2 more and then we'll close it out here. This is another one here. Okay. Check this out. 28 CRF, right? All this. I mean, guys, you think I'm making this up and creating it through templates? I'm taking it right off of his account and sharing it on a broadcast. Like,
he must
this
have used
is
the same template I did, because that's exactly the same template. He must use the same one as I do, because that's exactly the way I have mine.
Yeah. You can go. When was this on? Okay, November 11th. Go to Thomas Massie, the guy with the little gray check and the logo of the Republican Party, right? You could find that there.
Should be called
should we do one more? Yeah, we'll do one more, and then that's it. Okay, because I mean, this is you think you're making up things for spin and click and bait, but here's one more here. We'll do one more. Oh, look at this here. Media advisory. Speaker Johnson to swear in representative-elect, right? The radical Democrat that is now, high on her horses, saying, "I can be that 218th vote. I can end it all." Right? I mean, she put on the whole Hollywood makeup sauce with, a smiling as Mike Johnson was swearing her in last week. And then, right.
She voted no on the shutdown.
The vermin herself. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like this is what we deal with in Washington. I mean, when is enough enough? But I mean, I'm glad you guys stuck around on the live stream. I really am, because these are the snakes that we have to expose out there. They're not helping our party. They're not helping our country. They're undermining everything that this country stands for. They're becoming that paid elite of the establishment. I mean, it's sad. It's sad that the deep state caught up to Marjorie and corrupted her brain. It's sad that we had to hear her go onto the charade of a circus on The View a week and a half ago. Was it about a week and a half ago now, right?
It was.
Joy getting all hysterical and all happy and joy, full of joyness. Maybe you should be a Democrat. Oh, they would get a female hard on for that if they see Marjorie Taylor Greene. They would have, excuse my language, they would have a fucking orgasm on the show if they seen Marjorie Taylor Greene blue pilling, if not already there. I mean, it's political suicide, Savage, if she blue pilled in a very high conservative area of Rome, Georgia. It would. But it would also be very politically smart on her end if she went to an independent scale in order to flip that district to a progressive independent angle. Can you see that, Sasha, real quick? You don't think she would do that?
Oh, she would do that in a heartbeat. She would break away. I think if the censure gets through and stuff, I think that they would easily go independent, or like I think Massie would go flip to being from Republican to Democrat, which give a 14 seat. And that would, it would. If those two switch, well, those two are already halfway there. Then we come at a stalemate where instead of that 218, it'd be that 216 threshold, and that 216 threshold, they could potentially have that 216 because right now they're at 214, and right now the way that things are going, if those two get censured, they'll be at. I'm guessing they'll vote the Democrat way. So they'll be at 214. They'll be at 216, and that means the Republicans will also be at 216. This is a very. Trust me, I don't want to do this, but at the same time, it breaks my heart that I have to write to Speaker Johnson about censuring. But I don't get joy out of this by any means. I'm not trying to do this for clickbait. I'm not trying to do this for anything. I'm doing this because if you mess up, somebody's got to say, okay, you messed up. Now here's accountability. You messed up by accusing, and now you have to be held accountable. You're held accountable to work, but that's just.
I absolutely hear you. I hear you loud and clear. Guys, do I do this for joy of getting attacked? No, I don't do this for joy, but I'm already getting attacked as it is. I mentioned Laura Loomer, and all the internet trolls are literally coming after me with this. Look at this, guys. This is pathetic that we have to look at this. Look at this. Like, see, at Michael, that's who I am right there, and Laura Loomer. And Jeffrey Epstein, they have to have fun with their stupid GIFs on X. I mean, look at this. We'll blow it up so you can see a little bit better.
Hey, at least I didn't get it.
I mean, come on, guys. Come on. I mean, literally. I mean, is this the nonsense that you guys love to troll old Savage and Sauce here on X? Because I know Sauce gets trolled on a daily basis. I mean, if not, how many times, Sauce? I mean, 1, 2, I'm out of fingers. I need another 20, 30, 40, 50 fingers, at least 20 times a day, at least.
Oh, I find low-key, I find it joy, actually. I find it, I have a bingo card in my mind. Who's going to say the most outrageous thing? I find it to be comedic, actually, because it shows how people are so smart that I'm like, wow, if you think that this is a problem, then why don't you do your own journalism? If you think that I'm doing the problem and that you want to just troll, why don't you do it yourself? But what do I know? Well, either way, I want to say thank you so much for.
It's been great. Yeah, thanks for coming on, Sauce. Sauce, a good friend of mine. As a personal friend and a friend of the show. So I appreciate the hell out of you, Sauce.
I want to add people my link. As you probably know, that I'm like on Newsbreak app, Soslen Newell, SOSLEN NEWELL on Newsbreak. You are more than welcome to follow me on Facebook, Soslen Newell Tiemanson, and as well as Real Saucy or Sauce OnlyFans, Sauce OnlyFans on Instagram. And I'm quite a bit of social media, but I'm very active on X, as you could probably tell. And so I would love to have your engagement, and that's where you'll be updated to the most recent letters that are going to be submitted. And stay tuned, because we got exciting things coming up in the works.
Yeah. If you missed all that, guys, don't worry. For all my audio listeners out there, we will put that in the show notes where you can follow Sauce, give him a follow, give him a like, leave him a comment. Be nice to Sauce. No, I think Sauce could take it, right? All the haters out there. Sauce he's the devil. No, mama, I'm not. No, little, Adam Sandler there, the water boy.
Yeah.
You're only mad because of Boom Albagata, right? No, none of that stuff. No. Leave Sauce alone. I mean, he's a good guy. But Sauce, I appreciate the hell out of what you're doing. Keep the good fight up. Remember, guys, we're gonna put this up real quick. I can't say it more than enough, and then I'm gonna get you out of there. I promise. Guys, the Stomping Grounds Uncensored Tour is coming up in 2026 with the first stop in the great state of New Jersey with my good friend, special co-host, joining me on that feed, not only then Gen X Robert. Gen X Robert will be literally in the fire zone with Savage. So that's the first stop starting in January, going to all my favorite places that made me who I am today. And then check out Wisconsin. I know I got something going on in Wisconsin around June, July of next year. So we're going to be in Wisconsin. We're going to be actually in your neck of the woods, Sauce, in Wisconsin.
All right.
So,
well, we're gonna have to meet up, and we're gonna have to get coffee, and I'll have to show you around how. I'll have to show you
I'm looking forward to it. I got to put my tin hat on, right? Hysteria, conspiracy. No, just joking. Anyway, thanks very much, Sauce. I'll get you out of there, and I'm going to close out the show. All right, guys, you can check out Sauce just about everywhere, guys. Check him out on X. Check him out on TikTok. Check him out on Facebook. He's all over the place, guys, in a good way. So really, really good, informative guy. He comes on the show from time to time. That's why I used to joke around with him when I first met him. That's why we call him Cousin Sauce. He comes and goes. But when he always comes and goes, he gives us that great set of knowledge. Guys, I'm Savage, otherwise known as Michael Gardner. Thanks very much for dropping by on the live streams. Remember, guys, if you missed the live streams, you can catch all the replays on our audio platforms, whether it's on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Pandora, Podbean. The list goes on, right, Tibbs? I mean, you name it. Just search us, okay? Savage Unfiltered or the Savage Unfiltered Show, and we pop up we're like Gorilla Glue, baby. We go all over the place. We stick it, we make it happen. Guys, thanks very much. Take it easy, and see you next week. See you Tuesday, guys, as we'll be back on the airwaves of podcasting. Later.
This had been a Truth Productions media episode. Thank you for listening.